So, good morning, all of you students. So, welcome to again lecture series for the class of the Msc Physics second year. We have to see here the energy study subject and continue the first module, which is the energy resources and energy scenario. So, this lecture is a very last lecture of this module, and in this lecture, we want to see the main points of this chapter, which is the cogeneration, and we have to see study what is actually mean by the cogeneration, what is the types of the cogeneration principle and types of the cogenerative system. That all points we have to mug up in this lecture, and we have to study for these points. Actually, first meaning what is mean by cogeneration, or in last lecture we have to see that cogeneration means that generate the electricity with the help of the heat at single installation. So that is mean by the cogeneration. Or what is here definition, that the procedure for the generating electric power and useful heat in a single installation, that is known as the cogeneration system. So that means that, or very clear that idea, so that electricity which is generated from the heat energy, and other heat energy, that in terms of, for example, the heat may be supplied from the steam or hot water or hot air, and that net result is overall increase the efficiency of the fuel utilization, and this is known as the cogeneration system. Now, after that we want to see here the main two basic types of the cogeneration principle, and that two cycle which is considered as the topping cycle or which is considered as the bottoming cycle. So that is two cycle is here. So that cycle which is based on, so how utilize the heat energy that converted into electrical energy, and what type of use for primary use as the industrialization process or other process or other way, that meaningful idea which is covered in this two cycle, that is topping cycle and bottoming cycle. So we have to consider the first types of the cogeneration which is given is here. So that is considered as the topping cycle. Or actually, what is the idea of the topping cycle, that consider here, that topping cycle is nothing but the primary heat at high temperature is used to generate the high pressure and temperature steam for the electrical energy generation. So what is first purpose? That purpose is that primary heat at which has the high temperature or high pressure, and that high temperature high pressure is used for the heat to generate the electricity, and other purpose which is given as here, so that discharge low grade heat which would otherwise the disperse to the environment, and it is utilized and the industrial process or other way. So that means by that, if the temperature or pressure of the water or the fluid or everything which is high or high pressurized, that is used in the generation of the electricity, and after using that electricity, whatever heat or whatever steam or whatever hot water is remaining, that remaining steam of the temperature of the pressure which is used for the other purposes for the industrialization process, that is mean by, for example, any raw material or primary sources which has there or processing from there, this type of the energy is used to find out the final product of the system. This is one of the cycle or one of the principle of the cogeneration, that is the topping cycle. Next cycle which is given consider as, which is given as the bottoming cycle. So what is mean by the bottoming cycle? That what is mean by this bottoming cycle, that primary heat at high temperature is used directly for the industrial processes requirement, and remaining low grade heat which is used in the for the uh, for use for the electrical power generation. So what is difference between these two method? First method, what is topping cycle? That topping cycle has the heat which is high temperature or high pressure. Firstly, it is used for the electricity generation, and other low grade heat which is used as the other purposes like as the industrial application, or vice versa for the bottoming cycle. That heat energy which is used, first of all this primary heat used in the industrialization processes requirement, and that processes requirement, after that whatever remaining part of the heat which is used as the low grade heat which is used to generation of the electricity or generation of the electric power. So these are the main two principles of the cogeneration system. Now next point we have to see are the types of the cogeneration system. For example, which is considered as the waste of heat utilization, and that next type which is considered as the space of heating and cooling. Next, which is warm water in the agriculture, warm water in aquaculture, and total energy system for the residential complex. So that is simply mean by, so whatever heat energy used for the electricity generation and remaining part of the energy system which is used as the other purposes like how the waste heat utilized for the other purposes, or that is how space cooling or heating purpose for using the heat warm water, or how this heat energy or in terms of water use in the agricultural field or residential complex use, how use in the residential complex. That all idea will cover in the types of the cogeneration system. So we want to see the types of the cogeneration system. So types of cogeneration system, this is second important point, that is types of the cogeneration system. And that types of the cogeneration system, main point which is considered as the waste heat utilization. Waste heat utilization. So this is first type of the cogeneration system. So in this waste heat utilization system, so that major purpose of this system or cogeneration system is to use this heat energy which is converted into electrical energy or generation the electrical power with heated water as a byproduct, and this byproduct heat which is available use the location near the electric power plant, and this type of cogeneration which is referred as the waste heat utilization. So that means by that heat energy or very hot water that have emit out the steam, and that steam which is used as the uh, high pressurized steam which is used as the rotate the turbine or armature. Okay, and that rotate turbine or armature we have to generate the electricity from generator, and that have the generation of the electric power. This is the very first or primary use of the or primary principle of the this system. And after that whatever low grade water heat energy which is available, that energy or that heat discharge in the electric power generation, that utilize in some beneficial other purposes, and that heat is dissipated to the environment for the direct charge of warm water to the ocean or river by passing through the cooling of the lake or cooling of the tower, and various possibilities of consider for the large amount of heat which is lost in this way. So that many purposes use in this low grade heat purposes. So that is idea about the waste heat utilization. So once again repeat that what is mean by waste heat utilization, that whatever heat energy in terms of the hot water which is used is the electrical power generation, and after that remaining heat which is used as the other purposes, so that is cover in the waste heat utilization. That waste heat utilization, the main part which is considered in this point, first upon the space heating and cooling. So first purpose is space heating and cooling. Heating, space heating and cooling. So already I am say that, so that for system that is waste heat utilization, primary it is used as the generation of the electricity and other use in the other purposes require. So that in this system the first part is space heating and cooling, that is the utilization of heat energy, and that warm water can be distributed to homes, offices and stores, and the industry space heating and the domestic use in this area, and this is referred as the restrict heating or cooling, useful for the space heating or the cooling, or the temperature of this water should be the range of the 50 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius. The range of temperature in space this water, the range of temperature of water near about 50 to 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, so that in this system this 50 degree Celsius to 100 degree Celsius, that temperature having water used for this purposes for using the heating or cooling of the space. Next one is considered as the warm water in the agriculture. So in space heating or cooling, so second main point which is considered as warm water in agriculture. So B point, warm water in agriculture, and this warm water in agriculture that have given the temperature range, that is temperature is nothing but is never nearly equal to 24 to 46 degree Celsius, using 24 to 46 degree Celsius, that having water temperature using in the agriculture, that can be used heating a greenhouse, or used to soil warming, or extended the growing season of the tree or vegetable which is in enter. So that is mean by that warm water which is used in the agriculture field to the suitable climate, creating the suitable climate of the extracting the various type of vegetables or various types of the trees or fruits that also use in the this warm water, that have temperature 24 to 46 degrees Celsius, that amount of the heat which is required to the agricultural field. Next, which is warm water in the aquaculture use. So that is C part, that is warm water in aquaculture. So this warm water which is used in the aquaculture, so that have temperature which is considered as near about 32 degrees Celsius. That temperature range which is nearly equal to 32 degrees Celsius, and that yield for the fish given the pond culture or pond relative to nutrients supplied the increases of the temperature for that nearly equal to 32 degrees Celsius, and that have maintained the very good climate or very good sustainable environment for this aquatic animal. So next one which is also given here, that uh, types of the cogeneration system, that second type which is total energy system for the residential complex. So this is second type, so which is given by total energy system for residential complex. Total energy system for residential complex, or that is considered as the TES system. So that is mean by this energy system which is considered as the whatever purposes the generation of the electricity, because that use that residential system have the electric power, that electric power also generate in that system, and also that remaining heat water or warm water which is supply or which is provide to this residential system, which is also very useful, and that TS is known as the self energy system, that is itself contained system which is useful for the residential complexes and which work independent of the external power sources, and IES, that is the integrated energy system, that is very flexible, or the usability of the connected system can buy a cell energy to utilize the depending power demand and the availability situation. So that is mean by the total energy system utilize the heat engine, or that heat energy which is convert the part of useful in the mechanical energy and which is converted into the electrical energy. So that is useful in the residential complex system. So that is known this. So simply say that, so that residential system having electrical power, and that power generation we have to use this type of the system, we have generate the electrical power as well as use as the other residential purposes like bathing or some uh, agriculture field or something that, and that is also used it so, and that is have advantage, that is the does not depends on the other external power sources. And next one which is main type, that total energy system TES for the industry, that is total energy system which is given for this is the residential complex system. And third main type of the cogeneration system is the total energy system for industries. Okay, so total energy system, that is TES for the industry, so that are objective part of the produce both electricity and the industrial process of the heat industry, and that heat component may be supplied in the form of heat or hot water and hot air, that have many industrial process that use this heat energy. Okay, for example, that petroleum refineries or chemical plants and pulps and the paper industry that use large amount of the process as heat as well as the electrical energy, and that operate the pumps, and this case generation that can result 30% of the saving fuel that separate the generation of the electricity or the process of the heat. So that is mainly considered as that total energy system for industrial level, that have considered that energy which is used for the industry for the electrical energy, or as well as the whatever taking place the process in the industry for finding out the final product. So that's why use this system is very grateful, because this system is advantageous. This is produce electrical energy or generate electric power, as well as many processes like generating paper, petroleum refineries and chemical plants that also use in this hot water, and also use to pumping system also use this type of the energy. So this is the system of the cogeneration or cogeneration systems. These are three. So that is first one is waste heat utilization, that consider as the space heating and cooling, and that have require the temperature of the heat water is nearly about 50 to 100 degrees Celsius. Next one is that temperature which is also used warm water in the agricultural, and that temperature which is defined the range of 24 degrees Celsius to 46 degrees Celsius, which are used in the greenhouse or other purpose of the extracting the various type of the vegetables or the foods. And next one which is used in the aquaculture, that range of 32 degrees Celsius, that is very good climate for the aquatic animal or fishing. And next one is that TS total energy system, which is useful for in the complex system, or which is useful for the industrial system. So up to the this point, so that your first module, that is the energy resources and energy scenario, which is completely complete. So summarize whole in this chapter, we have to study about the point of starting from what is the main types of the classification of the energy, that have many types like as the primary energy, secondary energy. After that we have to see the main types of the energy depends on the conventional energy resources and non-conventional energy resources, depends on the cycling system, that is renewable energy resources, non-renewable energy resources, and main resource of energy like fossil fuel energy, nuclear energy, solar energy, biomass energy, tidal energy, wave energy, biomass energy. That types of energy is also see here. And also depends on the what is the uh, what is the impact or what is the effect of the excessive emission of the gases which are affect the environment. So that this point will also cover in this chapter. And after that we have to see what is the importance of the renewable and non-renewable energy system, what is the main aspect, and what is the principles of the energy conservation, and what is meant by cogeneration system. All this point which is covered in this. So this is very basic or very important chapter for you. So thanking of you.